What should I do if there is a dispute about my student's special education services? The unique challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic have made it more difficult for students with disabilities to access public education. In this video, we will discuss various means of resolving special education disputes during the pandemic and beyond. Specifically, we will look at 3 tools that are available under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and an option for addressing discrimination through the Office for Civil Rights. This is the second video in a 2-part video series. If you have questions about what special education services are available to your student, what to do if distance learning isn't working for your student, or what to do if they can't wear a mask, please see our first video. The first tool we will discuss is mediation. Mediation is a voluntary process in which a mediator or neutral third party helps to resolve a dispute between a parent and the school district regarding special education issues such as a disagreement over the extent of services to be provided in person or remotely. During the COVID-19 pandemic, mediation may be used to work through any proposed changes to your student's education that may require more discussion and collaboration with the school. A request for mediation need only include the student's personal information and a brief description of the issue to be submitted for mediation. A sample form can be found on the DLC's website. If you disagree with your student's placement, evaluation, or services, and cannot come to an agreement with the district, you also have the option to file for a due process hearing at any time. A due process hearing is a formal proceeding, like a courtroom trial, which takes place in front of a hearing officer who acts as a judge. The hearing officer will consider the position of both sides, as well as any available evidence, and will deliver a final decision which addresses each of the issues raised in the complaint. This can be an appropriate option if a parent objects to a district's distance learning policies or otherwise cannot reach an agreement on the extent of in-person services or the format of remote learning. Due process starts with the filing of a due process complaint. The complaint should describe the problem and can refer to events which took place up to 2 years prior to filing. If the parties are unable to come to an agreement during the resolution period, a due process hearing will be scheduled according to the timelines required by the IDEA. Instead of due process, parents may choose to file a state complaint to resolve the issue without a formal hearing. A state complaint must include a statement of the school district's actions which allegedly violate federal or state special education rules, any available evidence in support of the allegations, and a proposed resolution of the issue. A state complaint must be filed directly with the Utah State Board of Education, or USBE, within 1 year of the alleged violation. Once a state complaint is filed, an investigator appointed by USBE will investigate the alleged violations. The investigator must issue a written decision within 60 calendar days after the complaint was received. If the complaint investigator determines that the school district violated the law, they may order a corrective action plan. Corrective action plans may vary based on the facts of the complaint and the violations discovered in the investigation process, and may include compensatory education, training for school personnel, or monetary reimbursement. If you believe that your student has been discriminated against by the school district because of their disability, race, sex, or other protected class, you can file a discrimination complaint with the Office for Civil Rights. An OCR complaint may be appropriate where a student has been denied a reasonable accommodation, such as a request for exclusive remote learning or an exemption from mask requirements. An OCR complaint must be filed within 180 days after the alleged discrimination. Similar to a state complaint, an OCR complaint may lead to an investigation of the school district. If OCR opens a complaint investigation, it will attempt to resolve the complaint either before or after the investigation is complete. OCR will not act as an advocate for either party during the process. If OCR determines that the school district failed to comply with federal civil rights law, it will produce a resolution agreement, which requires the district to remedy the violations. Here are some tips for drafting effective complaints. Be thorough but concise. Be sure that any alleged violations are clearly expressed and specifically identified in the complaint. Stay on point. Choose your words carefully in order to create a compelling narrative that establishes all of the relevant facts and avoids airing unrelated grievances. Include all relevant evidence. If necessary, you can request a copy of your student's special education file directly from the district. If you are involved in a dispute regarding your student's special education services or have concerns that your student has been discriminated against by a school district, please contact the Disability Law Center. The DLC's services are available throughout Utah and free of charge.